This is the vlog for September 7th, 2018. And as you may have noticed from the thumbnail, I feel good today. I feel really good today. I'd feel better if my image didn't seem like I was reclining all the way back like this, but I don't know what's going on there. I'm not even sure what it is that makes me feel so relieved, except that I am relieved to have the whole weekend in front of me. So, the other thing is that I haven't really done a lot today, except, well, one thing. I'm sort of considering doing a series of stuff on the 7 characters that I've created for my prose campaign. Maybe I'll do one of those after I've actually started writing backgrounds for some of them, and then I can just go through and sort of describe the backgrounds. I also sort of hesitate to do exactly that because even talking for 5 minutes, I don't want to sort of ruin the story that I have in mind, because I think being introduced to these characters naturally through the prose would work better. To say the least, it's an eclectic group, including at least one completely new race that I created for the Dinostria campaign setting. Sorry. And a couple sub-race options that do not normally exist that I have added in for flavor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to spending a lot of this weekend actually doing writing. It's going to be raining. It already rained a little bit today, and it's quite cloudy, although the temperature was just perfect. There was something else I was just going to... Oh, right. So I've probably touched briefly on this before, but I play World of Warcraft, and I have been playing World of Warcraft for 14 years on the same server. I've briefly tried other servers in the past, but having most of my characters on a specific server, and its sister server, means that I always have a network of friends who can help me out if I ever need help, although I generally don't ask for help very often. I'm also not asked to help very often because I sort of like to play in a solitary style, but every now and then I run into something that would really benefit from having multiple people around. But that's just playing the game. I do actually like being social in specific circumstances, and Friday nights, for a very long time, have been the Order of the Rose guild meeting nights. The Order of the Rose, I should start this by saying I play on Feathermoon. You've heard me talk about Feathermeet, and Feathermeet is the Feathermoon community coming together, or at least our little small part of the community coming together to hang out and spend time in the Seattle area and drink and go out to eat and have fun, walk around Seattle, that great stuff. In game, we are an alliance guild, or at least the Feathermeet group is a series of members of sort of similarly aligned guilds, or at least associated guilds. My guild is called the Order of the Rose. The Order of the Rose was actually made the very first year World of Warcraft was out. One of my good friends who plays a character named Chelody inherited the guild after the original creator gave it to his sister, who was not as well liked as the original creator was, and then his sister got fed up with trying to run the guild and briefly considered closing the whole thing, shutting it down, quitting, or not even just quitting, but disbanding the guild. But enough of us had had a lot of fun playing that we basically sort of made the case, please don't just destroy the guild, hand it off to somebody else, and we'll keep it going. We like it, even if you don't like being around us anymore. And she did. She was kind enough to do that. The next person who was in charge was a pretty fun person, but her character, or his character, who was a her, was also sort of maybe not as well suited to running a guild as somebody could be. Um, Himitsu was the name of that character. Himitsu was a fine player um, who just wanted to play the game more and sort of wanted to participate in the sort of game effects, but also wanted to be included in a lot of storytelling stuff. And then we would have to hold on storytelling stuff sometimes to allow for the player to engage in the gameplay and stuff. And eventually, Himitsu stepped down because it just seemed like it was too much work to run the guild, and I think her player sort of lost interest in playing World of Warcraft in general, decided to try some other games out, and that's when it fell to my longtime friend who plays Chelody. Now, Chelody is a druid, and she is a druid to a T. She loves nature, she loves taking care of things, she's very nurturing, and her personality seemed to fit really well for running the guild. And she's made it clear that it can be stressful at times, but she does enjoy it. She feels rewarded by it, and I'm glad that she does, because we can be a lot of work sometimes. But even if she's not there every week, we do have a weekly guild meeting where we come and in character we talk. It's really quite simple. A lot of people associate role playing with sort of eccentric weirdos or people who are interested in cybersex. The truth is, the vast majority of role players just like to sort of enrich their gameplay experience by having their character behave as if they were a real character in the game. Not just a digital elf being driven by a human being behind a keyboard. It doesn't have to be epic. It doesn't even have to be dramatic. A lot of us enjoy playing characters that actually just have very mundane lives. We tell jokes. We talk about things that we've been doing as if they were real. We talk about shopping. We talk about, the goings on in the world and how they impact us. And we hold parties. The Order of the Rose is probably most famous for the Rose Ball, which has in the past been not server-wide, but a very large event with over 100 people in attendance, doing the things that you do at a party. We provide activities. It has sort of an almost carnival a festive air. So like I've personally set up a dunk tank where I had a character that would jump into the water when people threw water balloons or other objects at them. I've seen, we've done talent shows, we've done joke competitions, so those have been pretty good. I actually won one of those one year. Maybe I'll tell that joke sometime. But, yeah. And this week we had this ridiculous meeting. We had a bunch of old people. The best thing about when an expansion comes out like this is all the old players come out of the woodwork, and a lot of people make new characters, and we get to see them, and they introduce each other, and we get to figure out what their personalities are like and interact. And this week we had a bunch of characters who have not shown up in a while show up, and we had a couple new characters show up, and it was a laugh riot. I was personally congratulated by a bunch of people, and I don't think I'll ever be as funny as I was tonight ever again. I won't bore you with the details because out of context they probably don't actually seem that funny, but that might be why I'm feeling a lot better. Sometimes in life we don't get the sort of positive reinforcement that we need. We don't get told, "You're doing good. You're doing a fantastic job. You're working hard, and we can tell, and we just want to say, keep it up. You're appreciated." Most of the time we go through life and we just sort of quietly do our things and tell people, to do things or get told to do things, and we do them. And there's very little feedback other than, "Good job." And that doesn't seem like someone saying good job. That just seems like, okay, you did the thing I told you to do. I'm acknowledging that, and now I'm going to move on to the next thing I'm going to do. And so to have that positive reinforcement, to have people compliment me, it's uplifting. And I'm about to hit 10 minutes, so I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.